Okay, so I was messing around with the idea of pixels looking at each other and like changing their values based on what's surrounding them, just like how Conway's Game of Life functions. And I've made some variations on that idea, and I'll one of the outcomes is this. And so what I'll do is I'll restart it from the beginning. This is how my game works. Basically, it's not a value from 0 to 1 that determines the next step. Each of these pixels or each of these automata or the cells, uh, they have a brightness value from 0 to 255. So that's what determines it. And what happens is I have a little algorithm here that's saying, so right here, number of brightness or brighter, number of brighter cells around it. And that gets calculated in here where it checks all the pixels surrounding each pixel. So the 8 pixels around a pixel, that's what each pixel is looking at. And if, right here is the statement, if the brightness of this specific pixel is brighter than myself, then up the counter. And then down here, after that's done, I say for that pixel, if there is 4 or greater pixels that are brighter than myself, so like these pixels, or like let's find one lone black one, like right here, this lone black one right here, that one is surrounded by a lot of bright pixels, so it's going to meet this criteria, and it's going to turn itself white, completely 100% white. If not, it turns itself black. So if I do one iteration, there we go, that's what happens. Doesn't look that interesting yet. I mean, it looks kind of like a sponge, but if I keep going, it eventually decays in this weird way. It kind of generates like these caves, like almost like Perlin noise in a way. And if you look, I'm gonna have it run in a sec, but I'm just gonna do a step by step right now. If you look, they kind of flip. See this G looking thing? If I click, it flips. So you can see that things are flipping back and forth. But because it's at a set 4, I think, like it still leads to these cells like slowly dying off on the edges. That's why the edges are kind of receding into the land. So if I do that one more time and I holding the space bar, so this thing has like a little, I coded in a thing where it'll like run like a animation if I hold space. So that's what happens. That's interesting, but it's not all that it can offer. You can actually change this number, and I'm not going to go through each number, but the next one that actually becomes kind of significant or interesting is 7. When it comes to 7, so that means that if 7 around it are brighter than myself, or 8 around it are brighter, so it's only the top 2 that it can have, then this happens. It leads to decay as well, but it keeps some like well, not some, there is a ton of configurations with these pixels that actually leave them surviving. Like these gray ones they're not flipping because they meet. I haven't really looked into it, but let me see right now. If I look into it right now, this gray pixel has only 1. This doesn't fit any of it, or let's see, wait. So number of brighter is 7, and then number of brighter is less than or equal to 0. Oh, okay, I see what I'm doing. So if it's 6 or 1, if it's between 6 or 1 brighter pixels, then nothing changes. That's why these are staying. So if I were to put this to like 1, then I think maybe it'll cut off the edges, or they all just die. Okay, so that should be 0. Okay, so that's interesting. But yeah, this is cool. I was thinking like I could implement this in some sort of game. Like it kind of reminds me of like maybe like asteroids in space or something. And then I could have like a little dude going through here as these are all flipping. I don't know. And then you get points based on shooting these. I don't know what it could be, but this is interesting. It's like a weird way to generate these interesting things. So the next thing I'm going to do, actually I'll do this in this video, is I'm going to have it generate an image. I'll take a stock image of something online. I'll convert it down to 100 by 100 or even 200 by 200. And then I'll see what happens with the pixels, because it works with colored pixels. If I go down here, I have it set to a random number between 0 and 255, but they're all being set to that. That's why red, green, and blue right here are all the same value, making them gray, and they're all Like if they're all 255, then they're all white. If they're all 0, then it's, you know, blah, blah, blah. So let's take this and I can actually do this. And now they actually are colored. But the same thing will happen over time. Oh, but it does leave the colored. Yeah, I forgot because those 6 through 1 doesn't change. That's cool. There's like a colored version of this. I'm gonna change that back though. I like this. I like the gray. It has more of a. Well, actually, I like the color better. But this feels more like some crazy math thing that's going on rather than just random color. I don't even know what I'm saying. So I'll be right back with implementing the image processing version of this. And also, the reason I have to put it down to 100 or 200 is because this thing runs really slow. Like if I just put it to 200, see how slow it runs. I'm holding down the space right now, and that's the frame rate going at. It's really slow, but it's cool. You can see much more space. You know, if I put this down to like 10, it's gonna run like insanely fast. There, that's will run pretty fast. Also, I also have this. if I put an offset number, then that happens. So the same process is still happening. It's just being stretched away. But yeah, okay, I'll be right back, and I'll select the images. I don't know what images they're gonna be, but there'll be something. Maybe it'll be stupid. I don't know. Okay, so I have the images now, ranging from 16 by 16 to 200 by 200, and I'll be going through those right now. Okay, so somehow after doing all the image making, I come back to the project and I'm trying to run it, and now I have some weird error here saying P5 had problems creating the global function create element. I don't. What? Okay, well, I'm back after restarting my computer, looking into it a lot, and it's actually kind of sad that now it's not working like at all. Like something must have happened right as I was creating code, creating my images. If I run this, it's gonna freeze, I bet. My mouse cursor is just, yeah. Ah, that's so disheartening. Like I'm gonna have to wait probably a whole day before this gets fixed. I'm pretty sure this is a P5 thing. Okay, so I found a workaround. I've already had processing before, but I remembered that processing has a P5JS thing. So I switched it over to P5JS and it works. So if I load this, if I run this, then it will run in the browser. And then if I click, it'll do everything that I want it to do. And it actually running really fast. Wait a minute. I was running really fast. I didn't know. I thought the web editor was faster than. Wow. Okay. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, I probably should have left that open, but now I'm just gonna load in things, and now I'll be right back with the final setup for the images and all that. I have to code it in and all that. Okay, I'm back. So I got it working now, and I did a lot actually. Yeah, it's been like 3 hours or something. But that's because I had a lot of stuff to do, and then I also had to code in a couple stuff. So the coding itself wasn't that long actually, but it was just what I had to do in real life. But I'll recap on what I did. So I have these images loaded. I have a Steve, Minecraft Steve. I got a Minecraft grass. I got my YouTube logo, a derp troll thing. You know, you'll see what those are. You know, the troll faces, and then the derp one. I got an image of Las Vegas, and then I got Will Smith. And I have those loaded into an array called images, and then I have a thing said current images. And then down here, my set screen function that I had earlier that set a random color, now I have it set to be the color of the pixels from that specific image that I have set. And then the last thing I did was that in, where is it? In key pressed, I have it setting the current image to the key I press, and then set the screen so it loads all the pixels, or loads all the little boxes from the image that I'm setting, and then shows it. So if I press 1, 2, you can see all the images. So here's the first one. We got Steve, grass, my YouTube logo. And so let me rephrase. This is an 8x8, so it's not the 16x16 like I originally had it because it looked weird. Then 16x16, 100 by 100, 100 by 100, 100 by 100, and then this is 200 by 200, and then 200 by 200. Beautiful Will Smith. So I seen the Steve one, what it looks like when I run the algorithm. So it's not that impressive because there's not that much room. There's not much real estate. But that's what's happening. But we can see, oh, let me do that. We can see that what's happening here. They oscillate. I can't remember why this one's turned white. Oh, I have the rules set to. Again, it's like it turns white if there's 7. Oh, I guess, yeah, because. Oh, okay. Sorry. Now I remember. This pixel is actually part of these pixels because it actually wraps around the image. So like, if I'm going right to left, when I get to the one here, it looks at the pixel here, but the pixel here is actually this one. So that's why. So it's seeing, yeah, it makes sense because if it's like white, black, white, black, white, black, and it just keeps going. Then I can always reset it. So it's really fast at resetting it. So I can do the next one. Grass looks like this. And this was interesting. It kind of looks like a tree. So it cuts off these groups. See that? I just keep doing this. And what happens though? So all the bright pixels kind of get eaten up a little. Now the dark ones turn to white. Then it just eats these corners out. All right, let's see my logo. Oh, it immediately turns black. Oh, that's creepy. That's actually really creepy. Okay, so these are the remnants of my YouTube logo face. That was really creepy. Like right around here, it looks. Anyway, okay. Then here's this one. Turns black as well. Figures. When it almost all dies out. Not that impressive. Here's the troll face. That dies out too. So black and white images kind of are lame. All right, and here's this one. This one's gonna take forever. So actually, let's look at something for a sec. You can see the compression at play because look at these boxes. You see these boxes that are generating, or like these harsh lines. That means that for these pixels in those areas, like right here, hard to see, and the YouTube compression on this video is gonna even make it worse. But this area all sees its surroundings and wants to, and it sees it as the pixels around it. There's no pixels around it that are brighter. So similar, so similar pixels, or the pixels that have the exact same color around it or are darker, die off. But yeah, let's just run through it. I'm holding the space bar too, and it's really slow. I didn't realize how much of a change that would make. So it's actually stabilized, I think. But yeah, like you can't really make out what the image was. You can see that similar pixels kind of all died off. Let me see if I remake that. So this area, I think, dies off one of them. All right, yes it is. But oh, it was this image, this part of the image that right here. That's this. Doesn't even look like that similar. All right, and then Will Smith's face. Oh no. I have predictions. I'd say his eyes are gonna turn white, and this part's gonna turn black. Some of them did. There, you got a weird outline. Just run the thing. Oh no, he's like dying. Okay, so gradients. If there's a smooth gradient, it like spreads. So his skin was like a smooth gradient, but then it stopped. Point. There we go. Weird. I thought there'd be a little more interesting of effects for images. Doesn't seem to be that. I think maybe the most interesting was my face. Is it just creepy? But yeah, there we go. Is bizarre. I wonder. Okay, actually, let's do something. Let's change this to a 4. Let's have the original effect, and let's do 0. So let's see the original effect. The original effect doesn't keep the color as much. It kind of just decays immediately. That's better expressed in a bigger image. So yeah, you can see that these pixels. So if it's okay, so if the color is between 3 and 1 this time, then sorry, not the color, the brightness is between 3 and 1, then it will stay. So these pixels all have less than 3 brighter components. Yeah, like this one has none. That has none because they're all the same, all the bright ones, except for these two. Well, whatever. Face. Well, that happens really fast. So it goes away immediately. Oh, look at that. So finally some stay. That goes away, that goes away. Image. Wow. Really goes away. Do that again. So immediately gets like corroded. And then after 2 clicks, it's almost completely black and white. There's a few. Then Will Smith's face. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. You can still see his face though. Interesting. I think even right here you could still make out a face if well, maybe not if you didn't know what you were looking for. But yeah, there it is. So the things that stayed, what were the things that, oh crap. Oh no, okay. I pressed another key that I shouldn't have, but it didn't really affect the program. Things that stayed on his face. So the things that went away. So his forehead stayed for a little bit. That's probably because it's the lightest thing. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, there we go. All right. Anyway, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed.